Well, I think I've done it. I think I've found the ultimate hunting rifle for the money. I am a budget shooter guy. I don't need the most expensive equipment out there. A, because I can't afford it, but B, I'd rather have some diversity and be able to buy a few guns. So I like finding the best gun for the money, and I've done it. I've done it. This is the Ruger American 30-06, and we are in my hunting series rifles. Previously did a Savage Axis review right here, which is probably one of the most common, cheaper, low-end hunting rifles out there. But this one's a little bit more expensive than the Savage. This is actually $500 with no scope. So it's substantially more than the Savage, but I've said it before with other guns. Sometimes, if you're on a budget, even though you're going, okay, I want the cheapest one, you know, whatever I can get with the money I have, sometimes it's worth finding that extra little bit of money.
We want more money. Yeah, more money.
To jump to a whole new tier of awesomeness, and this gun reaches that tier and beyond. It's very much like the Savage in look and feel. The plasticky polymer stock is the same. You get the same finish on the barrel. You know, detachable magazine. From the outside appearance, you would go, well, if that's $100 more and doesn't have a scope, why would I buy that one? Well, sometimes it's the little things that count. This just impresses me in so many ways, and there's so many little things that are better than the other low-end hunting rifles. I know this is only the second one I've reviewed. I do have a Remington 770 that I took out to the range to do a review, and that's about the cheapest one. That one's $300 with a scope, bottom of the barrel. If you look at the video here, I took it out to the range, went to do a review. I also got that in the 30-06, and the magazine it came with is like a 223 magazine or something of a smaller caliber, because I couldn't get the rounds inside. I couldn't figure out what was on. So either the place I bought it from sent me the wrong magazine, or it came from Remington that way. Either way, I sent it back. I don't want it. I read other things. It's not the one for you. It's not. Save some money. If you're looking for a hunting rifle and you only have $300 or $400 for the Savage Axis or the Remington 770, find that extra money. This is the one you want, without getting into the expensive Tikas and the the higher end guns. First off, I guess I'll just talk about the bolt and the bolt itself. Very smooth gliding action, not hard to release or cock. It's a really nice action. They've done a good job. The release on it is so smooth. There's just this little tab on the side which is completely flush with the side of the gun, and when it comes back you just push the tab in just a little bit and the bolt slides out, and it's so easy. There's no frigging with it. You know, sometimes you gotta frig with these bolts to get them in and out so bad. Now the bolt itself is actually a triple lug design, which is pretty good, so you know that when you're locking up, she's locking up for good. That's not coming out. So really nice bolt design. Everything on the bolt is metal parts. It does have this little plastic cover, which, you know, is not the greatest. It would be better if they had something a little more sturdy. And behind that you have the cocked indicator, which is also very cool. So if you're out hunting and you haven't touched the gun for a while, and you can't remember whether you loaded one or whether it's cocked or not, little indicator lets you know whether it's ready to shoot or not. So good thing to have. Behind that we have our thumb safety, which is just in the absolute perfect position. I can tell you one of the things about the Remington 770, the safety was way up here on the side. Not good position at all. You want to have your grip fully in place, and when you have your finger on the trigger, you know, you should be able to work that safety from your shooting position. You shouldn't actually have to move your hand up to get a safety and then get back to the shooting position. So right in the right spot, very smooth. It's all right where it needs to be, right in the back of the gun, right where the money area is, and of course the trigger. Well done. Very nice trigger. It's got the kind of the two-stage trigger where it has the little half trigger you pull in first like a Glock or like the Savage Accu trigger. Very similar in look, but does not function the same. Either way, this is fully adjustable from 3 to 5 pounds, so set it up for the way you want, and with that safety in front, you don't have to worry about it going off when you don't mean it to.
Press this down and pull it up.
I just left my trigger on the stock setting. I didn't change it or get into how to change it, but I just found it was a very nice trigger right out of the box. I didn't want to do anything to it, just left it just like that. If you're picky about triggers, it is adjustable. The gun as a whole weighs just over 6.5 pounds, has a 22-inch barrel, you can pick it up in multiple calibers. I got this one in a 30-06, which has been my test caliber for all my hunting rifles. Like I said, the stock's nothing special, but it does have this very nice rubber butt pad on here, which is very comfortable, very soft, and when you're shooting a 30-06 caliber out of a 6.5 pound gun, it's good to have something there because it's a lot of pressure going back into your arm. The gun as a whole is just so good. They did such a good job with it. And now let's get into the best part, which is the shooting. And I did quite a bit of testing. I actually took this thing out in the winter of last year, right at the end of the season, and it was so good I said, wow, I want to take it back out in the spring, do some more testing and try it again, and so I did, and it didn't let me down at all. In the spring it shot just as well, if not better, and I shot some really good groups. My very first shot taking it out was this shot right here, 100 yards, put a round in it just to see if the scope's still on, and boom, right dead center through the middle. And then if you look at this target here, which was my next target, 5 shots, right about 1 MOA with a 30-06 caliber and a little rifle. You know, it's not a bull barrel or anything. It's a very lightweight gun. It's meant for going through the woods, and it shoots awesome groups. I was using my Burst full field 4.5 to 14 scope, which is actually costs about as much as the gun. So if you're using a cheaper scope, you know, you might not get those results, but it does have the potential to be a really good shooter even at distance. The magazine on the gun is also a really awesome design. It's a regular box magazine, but it's very compact, and that's because it is a rotary magazine. When you put your rounds in, it actually spins in a circular motion and it kind of moves the next one underneath. So instead of on top of each other, very cool design, and creates this nice little tiny box magazine. That holds 30-06 rounds, and it holds 4 of them plus 1 in the chamber. So holds plenty of rounds for hunting big game, that's for sure. Fits. Did you see how easy that clicked in there too? Like, you don't even have to try. The Savage Axis, you actually had to, you know, jam it in there, and when it was full, you couldn't even jam it in with the bolt closed. So this thing here is just awesome design. I really think this gun has actually had just enough rounds through it now to condition the barrel and get it in, like knocking quarters down. Well, I don't have any quarters, but I did put a hockey puck out there, and I'm gonna see if I can knock down a hockey puck from 100 yards. And if you want to take off a deer's head at 100 yards, well, make sure you can hit a hockey puck, and then you shouldn't have any trouble. One shot, let's see. Oh yeah, don't forget the ears. See if this thing shoots as good as I feel like it does. Where's that hockey puck? There we go. Alright, one shot. Let's make it a good one. Hockey puck down. I'm telling you, this is my new favorite rifle. First impressions of the gun have been stellar, and I've had it out to the range 3 different times now, and every time I've had it out, I can't wait to come back and tell everybody how awesome it is. So I finally put together enough footage and enough time and information to make my review, and here it is, the Ruger American. Yes, you want one of these.